not stress so much.
Oh, you think so? Oh, the poor things. Well, China Dragons took a bye in the last round, so they've had a chance to chill out and didn't have to take on Siege yet. They will later on, but they're into this round with Thomas Kund and James Govey, and they are going to be taking on Min Jae Kim and Jordy Peak. Min Jae Kim currently on an unstoppable perfect run of 6 wins out of 6. The only pilot to have done it so far today. We got 5 out of 6 for Vincent Mayans, but 6 out of 6 for Min Jae Kim. He's already a scary threat. This guy is clearly flying very well here. Jordy Peak doing well alongside him as well. Jordy Peak is currently on 14 points because, you know, whoever he's racing with tends to pick up the wins, but he's doing great work as a bit of an unexpected support today and team captain as well. So clearly he's doing good stuff. Kund and Govey need to start clawing some points back for China Dragons. Currently at the bottom of our leaderboard. Let's see what they can do. Peak, Kim, Govey, Kund, 10 for the second between everybody. Nice, good start here. Remember, this is the long straight bit. Before we go through the iconic hairpin, we're on board with James Govey, new pilot to the DCL. And he's still in the mix here. Jordy Peak's in front of him. Kim down in third, but it's only 0.2 of a second between both of those positions. And Govey just slipping a little bit behind now. Straight line speed down here, of course, in a drone race like this, everybody's basically flying the same gear, whereas if it was in real life, maybe those straights would be quite telling as to who's got the top speed. We're going to come back through here, come through the DCL, close their gate ladder, not as scary as the Siege one, but to the finish! Did Min Jae get... He did! He's got his 7th! And someone has cut Jordy Peak in half, interestingly.
Yeah, he even got like a 46-second finish. So the connection, because he's situated in Indonesia, was in his favor actually a little bit more than it showed. Yeah, great. Yeah, Min Jae. I think also because of the time zones. So we mix up the time zones, right, for all of these events, and yes, I think this time zone favors him. He's such a young pilot, such a young kid, flying like in the middle of the night or even, you know, early in the morning. It's definitely not beneficial for anyone, especially when you're of his age. So maybe that helps him.
True.
Maybe that's why we're
Min Jae. And yet he was flying all through the night when we raced in Prop Town. But yes, as you said, we do change the start time of our races to try and share it around. So the Koreans were racing through the night when we raced in Prop Town. The Americans have had an early start in the morning today. And Jae Kim, Theo, means prince, by the way. Heading up towards the top bit there, through the top of that. That's nicely done. And then very tight on the DCL ladder. Good grief, didn't leave much room to spare there, did he? And he's going to come out of that and lead his way through the 6 gates of this red gate tunnel. And Kund and Govey are not out of this one. Everybody's half a second apart. We could have a massive finish here. His star 2, 3, 4, 6, 7's view as he's moving up on Keepy. Theo in front of him. And his teammate James Govey, clone number 1, is not far out of this thing either. This could be one of the tightest races we've seen so far today. We'll go to the finish. It's Kim again. And as you see in the top corner, Thomas Kund is racing alongside Jordy Peak.
Is he there as well? Yeah.
He's in the room.
Yeah. He's there as well. Yeah, and
on the other side of Peak is Klein. Yeah.
Andreas Klein is in the room as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also very impressive racing by Thomas Kund, because he was tailing Min Jae and Jordy Peak, but at the very last corner, the very last obstacle, he overtook Jordy Peak and took 2nd place.
Well, I mean, what can you say about that? Min Jae, 8 from 8, 32 points. Ridiculous. Ridiculously skilled. What a pilot, what a talent. Lucas Rowe, Kenrick Lin against the other man in the room, Andreas Klein and Angel Rivera. I'd love to hear what's going on in that room. I really would. I mean, I know they're all good friends and so on, and there's such great relationships and rivalries, but fun rivalries between so many of these pilots. But I would love to hear some comms of what's going on with some of these pilots happening to be in the same room against each other. So it is 13 points to 7 for Supersonic X after Minjae Kim gets loads and Jordy P gets a second and a third place behind him. Rowe and Lin against Klein and Rivera. Let's have a look. Rowe so far today got 9. Lin's got 7. Klein's got 19. Rivera's got 13. I feel like Klein is going to rush off on this one.
I think if we are ever going to pull in the audio from what's happening in those rooms, Andreas needs to swap the GG sign for like a headphone warning sign, I think. Especially after the race, it can get pretty wild.
So they're just coming into the lobby now. So for this round of the round robin that we're doing, as well as China Dragons against Supersonic X, we'll next see SDT take on X-Blades, and then Drone Sports against Quad Force 1 and Raiden are going to just chill out for this one, which means maybe they're going to lose their current hold on the top of our leaderboard as it's their turn for a bye, but they are very, very, very much up in the exciting thick of things. When we get to the end of this round robin phase, the 3rd and 4th place teams, after all the points from the round robin are totaled up, those teams will go into the small final later on, a race for 3rd place, and the top 2 teams will go into a separate grand final later on today to race for the big win of the virtual drone Grand Prix. And of course there are points towards our World Championship season depending on where you place 1st to 7th between all of these teams. Later on, don't forget, the DCL Women's Cup will be along too before we get to the small final and grand final. That's going to happen after the round robin, a separate tournament, separate points in that, but all the teams represented, of course. Here goes Lin, Rivera, Rao and Klein at the back of things for now, but that may not last. There you go, he's moved up, he's in the lead, there you go. Thought that first turn might work in his favour, but Lin doesn't want to have it all to himself, so they'll fly side by side nicely under the DCL sticky out wall banner there before making their way into this DCL closed air gate. It's a little bit more hesitant for AJ, but he's in 3rd at the moment with both Klein and Lin just in front of him as they make their way through the 6 gates of that red tunnel and down through Breitling. Here's the ladder again. That's not the ladder actually, sorry, that's the split S. Now we'll come back through the iconic hairpin and this slalom, which is wider and then gets a bit steeper and a bit tighter as you make your way to it. This is the ladder. Incoming here. Creator Gamer, not too far behind everybody else's view, is full of all of them. Lin! Oh, Kenrick blew the finish. Had to go around and make it again. That happens in real life as well as in virtual drone racing.
Yeah, this
Line gets the win.
Just caters for so much close racing, you know. You can see the entire field just in less than a second together. Smooth racing by Andreas Klein, and Lin was actually not that far behind him, but as you mentioned at the very end, he hit the side of the Red Bull crash gate, and you have to land your drone inside of it. So he had to swirl around, and a 2nd place finish turned into a 4th place finish for him. Yeah,
interesting. Interesting. Well, they're going to get another go at this. It's currently 20 points to 10 for Supersonic X. China Dragons Day. It continues to struggle. I think Kenrick Lin can always surprise people. And they brought him into the team for a reason. Klein, Rivera, then Lin, who we're on board with right now. Rowe not too far behind them, but behind them in 4th at the moment. Up towards the ladder, and Kenrick is good at this, but oh no! Maybe that's the commentator's curse I have to bear. Come on, Kenrick, you're a second behind them all now. Through the Breitling gate. Here's Reutte Gamer's view. He's already up to the hairpin, he's in 2nd, he's past Lin. He's only got Klein in front of him, but as you can see, it's 2 seconds or so. Lin here in 3rd place behind Rowe. Angel Rivera is definitely out of this one, he's 7 seconds behind. That's much cleaner for Lin. That's much better from him, and it's a good finish. He won't miss it this time. But Klein was in, although Lin got within a second of him, as did Rowe. So maybe Klein just eased off a little bit towards the finish. Almost too much, though, as Lin and Rowe were gaining on him.
Yes, they were indeed gaining on him. Andreas Klein, I think this is like a moment where you hear, okay, you can slow down a little bit, you know, don't take any risks. But changing your flying style can also throw you off a little bit. And that might be what happened there at the very end of the race for Andreas Klein, because he actually hit the this is where we see it. He actually hit the bottom part here. So he had to rush and sprint his way back to the Red Bull crash gate, which he did perfectly to secure the victory.
25-15. Oof. That one's going to hurt China Dragons. It's not going to hurt Supersonic X's total. They're going to be thrilled with that. That's going to move them quite a lot. I think they were in second on the leaderboard before we got into this set of racing, with Raiden taking a bye on this one. I do believe Supersonic X might currently be in the lead, but there are plenty more races to come as we've basically hit the halfway point of our round robin stage. 25-15. Martijn, kind of as expected.
I would say so. Yes. Supersonic, they didn't fly too well in Proptown a couple of weeks ago, but I was expecting them to practice harder, train harder, and make some changes. You know, they're all sitting next to each other, which definitely helps their team spirit, and it seems like it's starting to pay off for them.
Yeah. When those two teams raced, though, back in Proptown, it turned out 21-19. Still in favour of Supersonic X, but much, much closer. So I think what you're saying is absolutely right, Martijn, because Supersonic X have put the time in and pulled away a little bit there. China Dragons making some changes with their roster. Supersonic X made a change on theirs as well, though. Maybe those decisions blossoming in different ways. We'll work it out as we make the way through the rest of the day.